Stories are powerful. They pull you in, they make you feel something, and without even realizing it, you start learning grammar, vocabulary, and structure naturally. And that's what's happening here. While you enjoy the ride, your brain is picking up full sentences, useful expressions, and native-style storytelling in English. That's the magic. So if you like learning English while being entertained, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. We post stories like this every single day. Let's dive in. Ellie had always dreamed of walking through the streets of Amsterdam. She had seen so many photos online. The canals, the old houses with their large windows, the bikes parked everywhere. It all looked like something from a painting. But what she wanted most was to visit the Anne Frank house. That was the place she had read about in school, the place that had made her cry quietly while sitting at her desk. She had planned everything. Her plane ticket, her hostel, even the route she would walk from the hostel to the museum. Ellie wasn't usually this organized. But this trip felt special and she wanted every moment to go just right. Her morning started with soft sunlight coming through the window. It was one of those mornings that felt calm and promising, like the day had whispered that something amazing was about to happen. She had breakfast in the hostel kitchen, which smelled like coffee and toast. Some other travelers were chatting, but Ellie kept to herself, reading the small brochure the museum had sent in her email. As she read through the visitor tips, she noticed something that made her stomach twist a little. It said visitors needed to bring a valid ID to enter the Anne Frank house. She paused. That couldn't be right. She thought tickets were enough. She quickly opened her bag and checked the pocket where she usually kept her passport. It wasn't there. She checked again. She even dumped everything out on her bed, her book, her camera, her water bottle, her snacks. Still no passport. Her heart started to beat faster. She tried to stay calm. Maybe she had left it in the locker. She ran to the shared room and opened her locker. He suddenly remembered. She had taken it out the night before to take a photo for a travel form. She had set it on the desk near the charging outlet. And now it was gone. Panic slowly crept in. But then she reminded herself that she could still go. Maybe they wouldn't check. Maybe they would understand. She was just a tourist, a harmless traveler. With shaky hands, she packed her things again and left for the museum. The walk was peaceful at first. She passed people riding their bikes to work, moms pushing strollers, and a man playing soft music with a guitar near the canal. The world around her looked calm, but inside, Ellie was not calm at all. Her thoughts kept running in circles. What if they didn't let her in? What if she had come all the way to Amsterdam for nothing? She arrived earlier than she needed to. She stood across the street from the Anne Frank house and stared at it. The building looked smaller than she had imagined, but the history it held felt heavy. Other visitors were already lining up. Some were taking pictures. Others were just waiting quietly. She crossed the street and joined the line. The minutes moved slowly. With each step forward, her anxiety grew. When she finally reached the entrance, a kind-looking staff member greeted her and asked for her ticket and ID. Ellie smiled nervously and handed over her digital ticket. Then she paused. The staff member waited. Ellie said she had forgotten her ID. She hoped her eyes showed how sorry she was. The staff member looked at her, then at the tablet, then back at her. It was quiet for a moment. Then the staff member shook her head gently. No ID. No entry. Ellie felt a mix of embarrassment and disappointment rush through her body. Her face felt hot. She stepped aside to let the next person through. She didn't argue. She didn't cry. She just walked away slowly, as if her body weighed twice as much as before. She sat on a bench nearby. Her eyes watched the water move in the canal. A boat passed by and the people on it were smiling, pointing at buildings and taking pictures. Ellie sat there quietly for a long time. It would have been easy to just give up on the day. She had failed at the one thing she had come to do. But after a few moments of silence, a different feeling started to grow inside her. She hadn't seen the inside of the house, but she was still here. She was still in the city that held this important history. And maybe there was another way to connect with the story. She pulled out her phone and looked up nearby places related to Anne Frank. She found a small bookstore not far away. It had a special section on World War II and Jewish history. It wasn't the museum, but it was something. She walked there slowly, not because she was tired, but because she wanted to take everything in. She looked at the buildings more closely now, noticed the details in the bricks, the colors of the doors, the shapes of the windows. At the bookstore, she found a quiet corner and started reading one of Anne's letters. The shop was calm and smelled like paper and coffee. Time passed without her noticing. She sat on a soft chair and read for what felt like hours. She didn't need a ticket for this. She didn't need an ID. She was still learning, still feeling, still connecting with the past. Later, as the sky started to turn gold, Ellie left the bookstore with a new book in her hand and a feeling of peace in her chest. She found a bench near the canal and sat down again, but this time she smiled. Her trip hadn't gone according to plan. She hadn't seen the museum, but she had found something else. A quiet place to reflect. A moment to connect. And maybe that was even more powerful. As night fell and the city lights began to shimmer on the water, Ellie promised herself something. She would come back. Next time with her ID in hand. But for now she had a story to remember, and maybe that was the most valuable souvenir of all. You've just learned more English than you think. Without sitting through a grammar lesson or reading a textbook, you picked up real expressions, sentence patterns, and storytelling style in English. That's the power of stories. And the more you listen, the more it becomes part of how you naturally understand and speak English. If this story helped you, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and turn on the bell so you won't miss tomorrow's story. And here's your challenge for today. Leave a comment below telling us one time something didn't go according to your plan while traveling. Or just say what you would do if you forgot your ID before a visit. We read every single comment and we love hearing from you. See you in the next video.